Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swaminidhi Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauramani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyabhati Pashatya Deshadharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurve Garchandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tat Bhaktaya Namo Namah Hare Krishna. Co-host, my voice is clear? Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Prabhu?
Mataji, yes.
Okay. I had some network issues. Please let me know in between if my voice is not clear. Okay, so today is third chapter. Are you able to see my screen? Is there any blocks in the screen?
It's fine.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So before beginning the class, who all have taken Ekadashi? Please raise your digital hand. Just very curious to know. Rajesh Prabhu, Muralidhar Prabhu, Rashmi Mataji, Dhyana Mataji, Nitya, Gayatri, Renka, Shruti, Varshni, Gitanjali, Sri Lakshmi, Bhavana, Kusumlata. Wow. Rashmi, I'm so happy. I'm done. I think today's class is done. And those who are taking Ekadashi for the first time, please raise your digital hand for the first time. Anurag Prabhu, Rajesh Prabhu, Hari Bol. Gayatri Mataji, Nitya, Varshni, Bhavana, first time? Wow. Geetanjali, thank you so much, Dr. Rashmi. Wow. I mean, I'm so happy because of the first time, in the sense, just by 2 days class and you're able to take Ekadashi, Dr. Kasturi. Thank you so much. Wow. I mean, you all will be blessed so much by Krishna. You're taking so much endeavor to do it. You feel fresh, tomorrow morning you'll be like, feel so light and you get the mercy. Okay, so going to Karma Yoga. Okay, so today is chapter 3, Karma Yoga. All the co-hosts are made. Did I leave anyone? Okay. Yeah. So Karma Yoga. Now Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight. No, Krishna was telling, if you fight, there are two things. Either you lose or you win. Right. So if you lose, what happens? You'll be killed and you can go to heavenly planets, or you can go to Krishna's world. Just go back, no, because your soul will go back. If you win, then you get the kingdom. So there is enjoyment. So you do your karma. So this is what I think in Kali Yuga we can relate ourselves to this Karma Yoga. We are supposed to do our karma, but in what way? So what are the 3 stages of God realization? Yesterday we learned. Can we quickly recap? Can anyone raise your hand, unmute and say? 3 stages of God realization. What are the 3 things? Yes, Srinivasa Rao Prabhu. Huh?
Jivatma?
No. God realization. To know God. And then 3 stages to realize God. I mean, 3 stages we discussed yesterday in the first slide. Rashmi Mataji?
Brahman,
Yes.
Atma, Paramatma,
and
Atma?
No. Atma is us. No. God, I'm telling God realization.
Oh,
Atma is us.
Brahman, Paramatma, and one more.
The
Supreme Personality?
Yes, the Bhagavan. Very good. Bhagavan stage. So Brahman is the light, the effulgence. Now you can see here. See, as you go near, the sunlight, you see the sunlight, no? So that's the Brahman. That's the light coming. You can see a light coming from it's actually coming from the Lord's body. But people say the Lord doesn't have a form. But Bible says God is made out of the image, man is made out of the image of God. So if man has 2 hands, 2 fingers, 2 legs and all, why can't God has a form? No, but this is the impersonal form of the Lord, the Brahma Jyoti. Yes, the Brahman realization. Next is the Paramatma realization, that the Lord is in our heart and localized, the 400 form, and the Bhagavan realization, the supreme personality of God. This is the ultimate realization, no, the supreme personality. Okay. That's a quick recap. So today Krishna speaks about Karma Yoga. Arjuna Uvacha. Nyayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tat kim karmani ghore ma niyojayasi Keshava. Oh Janardana or Keshava, why do you want me to engage me in this ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruity work, why are you making me fight? You can see here in the battle, so much fighting is happening. So Arjuna is asking, why are you making me fight, Krishna? Okay, and Krishna is called Keshava. In yesterday also we discussed some names of Krishna. Do anyone know the name, the meaning of Keshava? Each name has a meaning. If Krishna, Lord has a name, then it has a meaning. Yes, Dakshata.
Mataji, because Krishna killed a horse named, a demon named Keshi, so he got the name called Keshava.
Ha. Yes, the demon was called Keshi, and so he's called Keshava. That's a place called Keshi Ghat near Yamuna and Vrindavan. So yes, so he's asking, why are you making me do the work? Now Arjuna is asking, should I leave everything and just run off? Sometimes we feel, no, when we go have a busy day at work and come back home and all the kids are messy, the whole house is like upside down and so much things happening in everywhere, and you will be like, enough, I'm just running off somewhere to Himalayas or something. Now we all feel that sometimes so Arjuna is telling, should I just run off, renounce, or should I act? So what do you think? Can you put in the chat, first or second? What should Arjuna do? Renunciation or action? One or two? Just type one or two. Good. Good. So everyone agree? There's only one person who agree renunciation. Okay. So now let's see what Krishna is advising. Vamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohaya shivame tad ekam vada nishchitya yena shreyo aham apnuyam. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be more beneficial for me. Shreyas. Shreyas means beneficial. Okay. So Arjuna is asking, what should I do, Krishna? I mean, should I fight? Because Arjuna lamented because of 5 reasons. We know compassion, sin, no enjoyment, family traditions will be lost, and indecision. Right? And Krishna spoke about the second chapter about the soul, that we are spirit soul, we are not this body. No, that was Krishna spoke about the soul, Atma, and Lord is as Paramatma in our heart. Now Arjuna is saying, what should I do? Tell me one thing, what should I do? And now, okay, so should I renounce everything and go, or should I work? Karmendriyani samyamya yaste manasa smaran indriyartan vimudatma mityacharasa uchyate. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense object, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. See, you can see this picture now. He looks like a sannyasi. But do you really think he's a real sannyasi? Does anyone think? Yes or no? Or why? And why? Why do you think? Yeah, no, but why? Why do you think he can't be called as a real sannyasi? Yes, Mataji? Kaustav?
Yes, ma'am. Mataji, ये है कि he's a cigarette है. He is having a cigarette in his hand and he is talking over a phone. He is not totally devoted to Lord.
So sannyasi means who left everything for to worship the Lord, and he renounced everything. That means a sannyasi doesn't have a family, friends, or so-called friends, but why he's having a mobile phone? No, that means gadgets and all, and he is into intoxication. I mean, he is enjoying life with his senses. So that means actual sannyasi means who have withdrawn his senses, restrain his senses, and whose mind is always on the Lord. But as Prabhu was telling, yes, so we can't say he's actually. So this is like, we should not do such type of renunciation. So we all are grihastas, we have a family, some are mothers here, some are fathers, some are grandparents, some are husband, wife. You have your karma to do, or your dharma, and then you also have your work. You have to work, and you might be different companies and different places, and you come back home, you have a family. So we can't just renounce everything and run off. No, Arjuna is a kshatriya, he was a grihastha. he had a wife and kids and all, so he can also just can't run off from his duty, right? So so if you're a renouncant, that means you should be actual renouncant. That means actually renouncing everything, even mobile phones and cigarettes, nothing should be there. No, you're totally dedicated. You can't be both the side, no, either you be in this side or this side. So there is no midway. So that's what Krishna says. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind, begin karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is far superior. Yes, tva indriyani manasa niyamyara badhe Arjuna karmendriya karma yogam asakta sa vishishyate. That means without attachment. So Arjuna, you fight, but you don't worry about what the outcome is going to be. Either you win or lose, just leave it to the Lord. Now, when sometimes in life we don't know whether to do it or not, but we know that it's our dharma, we should do it. I mean, it's our duty to do. So just do it. Don't worry about your outcome. That's what Krishna says here, without attachment. Don't get attached to the outcome. Now, when the kids study, we say, you study well, you do your best and God will do the rest. Same way in our case, when we do something in life, we should always not get attached to the fruit so much. Now, this is King Prataparudra. So this is Jagannath from Orissa. So Jagannath Puri or Purushottam Dham. So just Jagannath Redayatra got over last month. And then, so he is taken into the chariot, no, Jagannath. That time, you can see here, the pillows will be kept and Jagannath just people just move Jagannath from, devotees move from here to there. And that time, this lot of cotton pieces coming out. And Prataparudra Varma, he's a king of Orissa. He took a broom and started sweeping. Now, he is not attached to that position of a king. Oh, I'm a big king, I should not do all these things. No, he's serving the Lord. So Krishna says, do your duty as a Kshatriya, but in a detached mood, knowing that you are a soul, not the body. So you've seen an lotus leaf. What is the specialty of the lotus leaf? Anyone knows? And what makes it special? Yes, Rajesh Prabhu. What makes it special?
Mataji, I think because lotus is surrounded in all the mud and slushy water, still it flourishes, blooms in a way that it gives happiness to so many people.
Yeah, so, but what about the water droplets in the lotus leaf? Is it sticking to it or it just?
No, it floats. It floats around.
It floats. Yes. Correct. So that means if you dip the lotus leaf into the water for a long time also, and then take it out, it's like so dry. Now, if you have droplets of water in it, it just rolls off. It don't get attached. Same way, when you're working, you should not get attached to the things around you. Some people are so engrossed, so much into things that when they lose it, they are totally shattered. No, because we think all these are mine. Because we have a false identification that I am this body, this house is mine, this car is mine, or this property is mine, and you get so attached to it, and when we lose it, we like totally collapsed. But we forget that before my birth, this property was there. After my death, this property will be still there. So did I bring it when I was born? No, everything is like temporary. Even this body, that's what yesterday we learned, vasamsi jirnani yada vihaya. No, even this body is temporary for us, right? So what happens, Shreya, at the time of death, the soul goes to another body.
The soul goes to the another body.
Sloka 2.13, Dehinosmin.
Dehinosmin yatatehe kaumaryam yauvanam jara tata dehantara pratir dhirastatranam muhyati.
Yeah, so for a temporary period of time, I'm given this body. No, I'm wearing this dress or this body, my soul. Now I have to go. So I have to leave everything and go. Right? So Krishna is saying, if you are so attached to things, what happened? You will be so totally shattered in life. But in case, if you become a water droplet, like in a lotus leaf, then the lotus leaf is not attached. How much of a quantity of water falls on the lotus leaf? It's not attached. It's not practically possible now. Initially, it looks like, how can I apply this in life? But as you advance in spiritual life, as you start knowing more and more in the spiritual life, the detachment normally comes. When you start hearing Bhagavad Gita and start doing devotional service, two things can happen: Jnana and Vairagya. Jnana means what? Knowledge. You're getting a lot of knowledge about who God is, who I am, what happens after death, how many species of life I have gone through, why am I suffering, what is my goal of life, how should I go back, how can I end the cycle of birth and death, get moksha. So all this jnana you get, okay, that is knowledge. Then you get renunciation, that means virakti. Jnana and vairagya, you get detached from this material life. In the sense, we'll be like grihasthas. In ISKCON, 99% people are grihasthas. We have a family, work, everything. But in that externally, it looks like a grihastha, but internally, kind of detachment. So that will be possible later on when you start applying Bhagavad Gita in your life. Krishna is saying, Arjuna, don't get attached to your cousins and your family members and all. Don't get attached. Then you won't be able to do your duty as a kshatriya. For example, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Niyatam kuru karma tvam karmatnyayo hi akarmanaha sharira yatra pichate na prasidhyet akarmanaha. Perform your prescribed duty. For doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one physical body without work. So this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He comes in our parampara. Yesterday I was telling about the parampara. So that is, we have Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who's a founder of ISKCON. His guru is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His guru is Gaura Kishori Das Babaji. And his guru is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Okay. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a magistrate. And then during the British time, he was a powerful magistrate and he had a nice influence on the British people. But at the same time, he was a devotee of the Lord. He started writing a lot of books on devotional service. He could balance. He had a family, children. He could balance. And one of his sons became Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who's a guru of our Srila Prabhupada, okay, who started the 64 Gaudiya Mats. So this is how he is doing his prescribed duty, right? So we can't just run off from our duty, just saying that I won't do. No, even that is sin, not doing. So this might be a quiz question. Types of karma. Karma means what? Activity which we do. Okay, first understand what karma is. Karma means good work on the material platform that brings good reaction. Okay, so before speaking to karma, I want to know what is Newton's third law. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. So I'll ask you one question. Okay, be ready. I did some punya, good things. I get a reaction. That means I enjoy. If I do a papa, then I get a reaction. Okay, that is bad things, because every action has equal and opposite reaction. Now, if I do a papa or a sin and I do a punya, will it get balanced? Yes or no? I did a papa, I did a sin somehow, something, stealing something I did. And then I did some charity, I gave charity. Will that be okay? Will that balance? Prasanna Mataji, Prasanna Kumar Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, it will be balanced, ma'am.
Okay, so you.
Hare Krishna, it will be balanced.
Okay, so you are saying it will be balanced. I want one more answer. Sharan Prabhu. Who's this?
Teacher.
It will be balanced or not?
No, teacher. No, Mataji.
Why?
It will not balance. Papa will papa only, and sin and punya will punya only.
Excellent. You're 6th standard. I mean, how small you are. That is the answer. I mean, the kid knows. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. It can't balance, Prabhuji, whoever told me. It can't balance because law of karma is not in that way. You throw a ball, it bounces back, right? You throw another ball, that ball also will bounce back. You can't say, I throw a ball this side and the next ball on this side and it's not bouncing. Only one ball will bounce back. No, both will come. And that means you can't just, each action has equal and opposite reaction, each action. So if you do a sin, the sinful reaction will come. If you do a punya, the punya reaction will come, but it can't balance. That is different. This is different. Okay. You do a sin, then you have to suffer. Like sufferings like might be poverty, you're poor or you're ugly, you're not educated, or some kind of disease, all the disease coming. Like some kids are born with cancer, some kids are born blind. Why? They didn't do anything in this life. It's their past karma coming. But that papa, that soul is taking in this life. But that doesn't mean he have done so many punya, it will get balanced. No, the punya also will come. Punya also will come. Papa also will come. It's like a bags, 2 bags. If you fill in one bag, the reaction will be there. That means you do some karma. You're sowing the seed. As you sow, so shall you reap. So if you sow the seed of bad karma, that will sprout. Punya, that will also sprout. It can't get balance. That's not the way the law of karma works. But we think so, no? That's what we are thinking. So when we do punya things, we think all the papa, what we have done, just covers up. But that is different. Something called akarma. You have to do akarma for that. So karma means good work on the material platform that has good reaction. Okay. Vikarma is breaking the laws of God. That means do something which is not in the Shastra. That is vikarma. Some demons like Hiranyakashipu, he did so many penances and tapasya, which is not given in the Shastra, like that, vikarma. Then there is something we call akarma. So understand karma, that's our duty to be done. Vikarma, not to be done. Akarma is devotional activities for which one suffers no reaction. So Prabhu was right. If we have done a sin, it's the parihara or the prayashchit or the atonement is not to do a punya. No, to do akarma. What is akarma? Devotional activities for which one suffers no reactions. What are they? Like chanting the Lord's name, listening to Bhagavad Gita, observing Ekadashi. If you do devotional service, then the root of the sin is taken off from the root. And there's something called nishkama karma. That means selfless action, desireless, not attached to the fruits. Like these NGOs, the volunteer facilities, what they do their work, but they don't expect anything in return. That is nishkama karma. Even that is good, not attached to the fruits. So are you clear with all these terms? Karma, vikarma, akarma, nishkama karma. Okay, so law of karma, this is what I'm telling. Everyone knows this, right? The dominoes effect. And you put one brick, all the bricks fall. This is very famous now. No? I've seen in a company, there was like a lot of mattresses were kept, beds were kept, and they were just falling, everyone together. So you do one karma, then the next you get the fruit of that karma and you enjoy it. While enjoying, you create another karma. Like I got some punya. I've done punya in my previous life and I'm enjoying that punya now. Like I have a nice home and I'm so happy here living. I'm comfortable. While enjoying my past karma, that is good deed, I still create more karma and I have next life ready. Okay. So this is how it is interconnected. Or a boomerang, you throw it, it just come back to you. No, the karma is like so strong. You can't hide from the karma. Wherever it is, it will come. So how you are treated by others, it's their karma. They are treating you. But how you react to it is your karma. If you react in a bad way, that negative thing comes to you. So this is the question which we ask all the time in life. No, why do bad things happen to good people? Oh, that person is a nice person. I know him. I mean, he never did any sin in this life. He's very nice. He's very pious. But why did this happen to him? We know only this life of his. What about his past life? What about his 84 lakh species of life? In a movie, actor, hero and the heroine knows only that scene. They don't know the climax. That might be the director won't say the climax because that surprise should come even the actor's face. No, if they know the climax, then they won't have that reaction. So the climax is kept secret till the end. So we are like the actors. We are acting. We are given a role now, in the sense this body for this life. But the real director is Lord. He knows. He knows our previous Janma. He knows our next Janma. Everything. But we are like going into the movie theater after the interval of the movie. We don't understand anything. Why this villain is chasing the hero is chasing the villain? What's happening, right? So in this life, why is this happening? Why am I suffering? It's because of my past life karma. Good karma also will come. Bad karma also will come. You can't balance it. That's not the way how karma works. So why do bad things happen to good people? We have sown the seed in past life. Like you have seen a bamboo. bamboo trees, they don't grow just like that. If I plant a rose plant, something, I get rose in like few weeks, few days. But in a bamboo, it takes like 5 to 6 years to actually grow, because they are running a root system. You can see a root system like this, deep. They get connected. They're making it strong, the foundation strong, and then the bamboo comes up. So every karma has its own stage, like the germination stage. Okay, when I plant a seed, sometimes a rose plant can come up fast, but if I planted a bamboo tree, then it will take a lot of time. Might be a jackfruit or coconut, it will take years to get fruitified. The fruit can come after so many years. Same way, when we do a karma, if I've done karma, my bad karma in my previous life, either I can suffer it in this life or in my next life or millions of lives later. I don't know. This is in Krishna's hand, in Lord's hand, and in material nature's hand. It's not in our hands. We have sown the seed. So what is the process of not having suffering? I mean, what can I do with the seed? Anyone can tell me? This will keep growing. But what is the process of just getting out of it? Yes, Usha Mataji? What should I do?
Mataji, it is by remaining in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, doing devotional service. What will happen? I'm uprooting the plant. If I just cut it with the knife and scissors, what will happen? It will again grow. But if I uproot it, just take away the root, then it won't grow. That's what devotional service is doing. So by doing devotional service, you have done a lot of karmas in your previous life, and it's like dry grass, and you're putting a matchstick lit, and it is glowing, and you put it on the dry grass, it burns all of a sudden. That's how devotional service is. So when you surrender to the Lord, when you start doing devotional service, your soul is doing it, not your body. The soul is doing. So the soul gets the benefit, and all your negative things will go. Krishna himself says, no? What does he say? Sarva dharmam parityaja. What is the second? What is the third line? Aham
tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha.
Yeah, so Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I take away all your sinful reaction. Don't worry. Ma shuja. Right? Mokshayishyami. He'll give you liberation. Krishna is promising us, but we are still not surrendering to the Lord. So this is how the karma works. So we can't do a positive thing and make a negative thing balance. No, that doesn't happen in law of karma. So if negative things will come, the reaction, positive things reaction also will come. But how can you make our negative things balanced? By doing a karma, that is devotional service. That's what we all are doing now. We are hearing Bhagavad Gita spoken by the Lord. So that is also a karma. Okay, which helps to destroy the roots of a sinful reaction. Why we are taking Punarjanma again and again? One point I missed in yesterday's class was, imagine I have a rented house, okay, and I want to shift to another house. Now, should I book the house ready, or should I shift my things first? What should I do first? Yes, Kaustav?
Mataji, I think first I will just arrange everything, then only I will ship.
Yeah, so the next house should be ready, na?
Yes.
Why? Otherwise, all my things will be like, I don't know where to move. Same way, when our soul is ready to leave this body, the next body is ready. Might be after so many years. Might be like yesterday I told you, we really don't know how long it takes. Some says 1 year, but the Shastra doesn't completely mention, because if I've done more sin, I have to go to hellish planet, suffer. Co-host, please remind me to show Goloka chart towards the end of the class. Please remind me. I've made it ready. So I'll tell you where the hellish planets are, where we are Earth, the 14 planetary system. So based on my karma, I might take so many years to come to the next body, but the next body is ready. Like I shift my rented house, go to a next rented house. Same way, the soul makes the next body ready and then leaves this body. How is the next body made ready? Based on the karma which I do in this body. So if I misuse the human form of life in a negative way, like animals, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, without understanding who I am, without understanding who God is, then I won't get a human form next life. It might be some low grade life. No, but if I want to elevate myself, get a human body and elevate myself, get liberation and moksha, then I have to work in such a way, try to understand who I am. Adato Brahma Jitnyasa. That's the first quality a human being should have. Inquire, who am I? Who is God? What am I supposed to do? So this is karma yoga. Krishna speaks about karma getting detached from the fruits actually. Yajnartat karmano anyatra logo ayam karma bandhana tadartam karma kaundeya mukta sangha samachara. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in the material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, that is Lord's. And in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. So how should we work? Not for us, only just thinking about money sweeter than honey, just money. Then finally, that's the only thing which we'll remember is about our money. No, that's not what Krishna says. That will come, but our main aim is not that. No, if you keep having so much attachment, then there is bondage in the material world. You tend to take rebirth again and again and again. How long? Yesterday we saw that video, birth and death again. How long will be in mother's womb suffering so much? No, every time. So we have to redirect our work in such a way we please the Lord. When Yudhishthira Maharaj did Rajasuya Yajna, and everyone were like, who should be honored? And Narad Muni told Krishna has to be honored. It has to be done for the Lord. So if you do a sacrifice or yajna, in different yugas, it's different. There are 4 yugas: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Okay, so we are living in Kali Yuga, right? All of you know. How long did Kali Yuga started? Like, it's been how many years? Can anyone remember? Sudhanshu? 100? No. Nirmala Mataji? I'll give a clue. Some thousands of years.
5,000 years.
Yes, very good. 5,000. How do we know? That was the time when Bhagavad Gita was advised. So when Bhagavad Gita was advised by Krishna to Arjuna, that was Dwapar Yuga. But that was the end of Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga was about to start. That means Kali Yuga is now, Kali Yuga has started 5,000 years ago. And what's the total duration? 4,32,000. And in that 5,000 is over, so 4,27,000 is remaining. So all of you agree that we are in Kali Yuga, right? We are in Kali Yuga. Now, in different yugas is the different prescribed method and we should follow it. So in Satya Yuga, it was meditation. People used to do dhyana for a long time because they had a long lifespan and no gadgets and disturbance. They could aram se sit in a quiet place and just meditate. But now, are we able to do for everyone? I'm talking about everyone. Might be 1 or 2%. Some people can meditate, but I can't. When I went to the meditation center, I saw all of them meditating. And I was like, what's wrong with me? I can't meditate. And then I could hear snoring sound. Everyone was sleeping. And that's not meditation. So it takes a long time to get into that meditation stage. But in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult. Bhagavatam says, Manda Sumanda Madhyo Manda Bhagyo. Prayana Alpayusa. The people in Kali Yuga, my great-great-grandparents would have lived for so many years. My grandparents lived for 100 years. And it will keep decreasing and don't know, our lifespan is decreasing, right? So in Satya Yuga, it was easy to meditate. In Kali Yuga, it's not possible. And in Treta Yuga, they did fire sacrifice. And that yajna, they do swaha yajna. But now, how can we do? Because there is no pure ghee available, no nice brahmanas available to chant the mantras. So in Treta, that's not prescribed in Kali Yuga. And Dwapar Yuga, people used to do temple worship. But in this Corona, the Kali Yuga, it's all foreseen before itself. They know that nobody can go to temple. We are all lockdown in the home. So the temple worship is not elaborately done. Yes, it's done. It is done, but not everyone could do it. No, even poor people can't afford to do a temple worship like this. But in Kali Yuga, that which is advised is chanting the holy name of the Lord. Just chant his name. I think it's a very nice day to talk about chanting. It's Ekadashi today. So chanting the name is prescribed in Kali Yuga. So when we live in under a particular government, we follow the rules and regulation of that government. If you don't follow, you don't get success. Same way, when we are in Kali Yuga, we should follow what is prescribed in Kali Yuga. So what is prescribed is the chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is said in the Kali Santarna Upanishad. Iti Shodashakam Nam Kali Kalmashanashanam. These 16 words are the 32 letters. Hare, Krishna and Rama. These are the prescribed mantra for the Kali Yuga. Okay, and there's no rules for chanting this mantra. And before chanting the mantra, we have something called the Panchatattva mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. So I'll share the 100 evidences which proves that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, who came in Kali Yuga 500 years ago. You can Google and see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's called Gauranga. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and Nityananda Prabhu is Balram, Advaita Acharya is Sadashiva and Vishnu, Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani, and Srivas is Narad Muni. So this is the Panchatattva's. Panchatattvatmagam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakya Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So why did they come? They came to propagate the holy name. Nobody was in Kali Yuga, people were so fallen that Lord was so merciful. He came in a form of a devotee. He's Lord himself. He came. Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshutam Yatne Sangirtana Praye Yajandihi Sumedasa. So Bhagavatam says Krishna came in golden color, that is Gauranga, with his associates. Why? Yajna Sankirtana Praye, the Yajna in Kali Yuga is Sankirtan, the chanting the holy name of the Lord. So when we chant the holy name, what happens? All the sinful reactions, that can be done anywhere and everywhere. Tatrarpida nemida smaranena kala. There's no rules and regulations for chanting this mantra. Anyone can chant anytime, anywhere. No rules. So, and how do we chant? We have a japa beats, okay, a mala, which is having 108 beats, okay, 8 of it. So we have like 108 beads in it, okay, and we don't use the index finger because that is a finger to point out someone. So we don't use the index finger, and it has 108 beads. And many ask, why 108 beads? 108 is a number because there is 108 Upanishads, 108 groups of main cows for Krishna, main gopis. So that is 108. So this is a mala. I've seen rosary for Christians and also a Jabamala for Muslims. What about the Sanatan Dharma? Are we actually forgetting it? We also had a Jabamala, but we are actually not aware of it. Some are chanting, but some doesn't. So this is Neem Jabamala, or you also get Tulsi Jabamalas, which has 108 beads in them. And we hold it between our thumb and the middle finger, and the index finger is not used. And with this Krishna bead, we chant the Panchatattva mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And you chant Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Then you keep chanting 108 times. It just takes 10 minutes. This is the starting of spiritual life. In Kali Yuga, there is no other way. No other way except chanting the holy name of Lord, which is that sloka Harer Nama Shreya.
Harer Nama Iva Kevalam Karunasteva Gatiranyata.
Yeah, so in Kali Yuga, there is no other way except chanting the holy name. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Not everyone knows about his incarnation. He's Krishna himself. And who's Krishna himself came 500 years ago in Kali Yuga to spread the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So anyone knows Vishnu Sahasranam in this class? I want to know. Nirmala Mataji, you know it?
Yes.
So what does it say about Sri Rama Rameti?
It says instead of saying all the names of Lord, you can just chant Sri Rama Rameti 3 times and the whole thing is got for you.
Yeah, can you chant that sloka? What is that? Sri Rama Rameti Rame Manorame. Anyone else know? Gayatri Mataji. Sahasranama Tatulyam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Huh.
Yes, Mataji. Shri Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulям Rama Rama Varaname.
Yeah, so Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame. So Mother Parvati is asking Lord Shiva, what should we chant, or what should we chant? Sahasranama Tattulям Rama Nama Varane. 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu is equal to one name of Lord Ram, and one name of 3 names of Lord Ram is equal to one name of Lord Krishna. So the Hare Krishna mantra has 4 Krishnas, 4 Rama, and 8 Hares. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. And also in Vishnu Sahasranam it is said something else, no? Anyone knows? Suvarna Varna Hemango. Is that sloka?
Suvarna Varno Hemango Varangas Chandanankadi Viraha Vishama Shunyo Krita Shira Chalastalaha.
Yes. So it has also says, no? Sanyasa Veshama Shando Nishta Shandi Parayana Suvarna Varna Hemango. The Lord came in golden color, Suvarna Varna. And Sanyasa Veshamasha, he took sannyas. There's no incarnation which took sannyas, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. So it might be some people from West Bengal, they already know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but not everyone knows. He's a Gupta avatar, he's a Channa avatar, he's a secret avatar. But yes, he is Krishna himself. And he came 500 years ago to spread the Hare Krishna mantra. I'll give you 100 evidence which in from Bhagavatam and all the other Shastras to prove Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Krishna, and then you believe or not. But he came to propagate this Harinam. He says, please chant the holy name. There's no other things to be done. Chanting can be done in the house. A group of devotees can sit and do the chanting, or you can do in the streets as Harinam, the Hare Krishna mantra as we sang before the class, or can you, when you're alone, you can do the japa. Initially, if you don't have a japa beads, you can chant in the hands, or might be have a clicker and just chant. And also with the family, you can still have a kirtan, Sankirtan. It is called Sankirtan. So this is a sloka in Brihat Naradiya Purana. It says, Harer Nama iva kevalam, kalo nasteva gadir anyada. For spiritual progress in the age of Kali. Note it down. We are in the age of Kali. Now, in the Kali Yuga, what is the dharma we should do? Like when you go to college, you know the rules and regulations of the college. No jeans, no that, this. There's so many regulations we have now before going to the classrooms. So we need to follow it. If you don't follow, either you're thrown out or you don't get attendance, or something, action will be taken. Same way, you're in the age of Kali. So those who are doing meditation, yes, okay. But what are we meditating on? Is everyone able to do meditation? No. Is everyone able to do fire sacrifice, temple worship? No. But easy way to do is the chanting the holy name. So there's no alternative to the holy name. And the chanting was there from Satyuga. In Satyuga, Prahlad Maharaj used to chant always the Lord's name. In Treta Yuga, Vibhishana used to chant Lord Ram's name and Hanuman. And also in Dwapar Yuga, since Krishna himself was there, so many devotees used to chant his holy name. Even Draupadi chanted his name. So that is the Yajna in Kali Yuga. So when you do something, our sinful reaction has to be balanced by doing akarma, and the akarma is devotional service, starting with chanting. Okay, Seven Mukhi Jihwado Swayameva Spiratada. You have to start chanting every day, 10 minutes, 5 times, 10 times. If you could chant the Lord's name, that is enough. Yajna Shishtashinah Shanto Muchyante Sarvakilbishaha Bunjante Tetva Agam Papa Yepachanti Atmakaranat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kind of sin because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Otherwise, who prepare food for sense enjoyment will eat only sin. So we offer the Lord. It's called prasad, no? When you go, all of you should visit ISKCON after your lockdown, nearby center. You can also come to ISKCON Mangaluru. Then you get nice prasad. You take prasad and you see how different it is. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha yajnat bhavanti parjanyo yajna karma samudbhavaha. All living beings subsist on food grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by the performance of yajna, sacrifice, and yajna is born of prescribed duties. So I'll explain this in a cycle. Okay, the Lord, as Veda Vyas, has compiled the Vedas. The Atharva Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Rig Veda. Okay, so Lord have compiled the Vedas. Now in the Vedas, it is said that we should do sacrifice. Okay, sacrifice. Now, when you do sacrifice, what happens? There will be rain. And when there is rain, there's a lot of crops and vegetables grown. And then we use it. The man takes it and then he cooks it. It will be raw, but then he cooks it as prasad. And then bhog is offered to the Lord, taken back as prasad and is consumed. Right? So this is how the process starts. No? So this is the interdependence. Everyone has to depend, right? Jiva jivasya jivanam. Everyone has to depend on food grains to sustain life. So when Lord also, when the story, when Lord Indra was worshipped, Krishna went and asked, why are you worshipping Lord Indra? He's giving rain, that's true, but rain is there even in ocean and also on land. So Indra is doing his duty, worship Govardhan hill. And for that, Indra was so angry that so much rain came to Vrindavan that Krishna at the age of 7 had to lift Govardhan hill, to protect the Vrindavan Vasis for 7 days. So they were also in lockdown during that day. 7 days they were in lockdown. So we are like for a long time. But then the difference is they are always seeing Krishna and enjoying, but we are not like that. Okay, we can also do when you chant the holy name, because in Kali Yuga, Lord has come in his holy name. When he asked Prabhupada, can you show me God? Where is God? Can you show him? Are we qualified to see him? But then in Kali Yuga, Krishna has come in his holy name. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. So Krishna has taken avatar in holy name. Tasmat asakta satatam karyam karma samacharaha asakto hi acharan karma param apnodi purusha. Therefore, without attachment to the fruitful activities, one should act as a matter of duty. For by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. So if you work without attachment, then you attain the supreme. No, that's what Krishna is saying. And why is Krishna saying all this to Arjuna? To make Arjuna fight. Arjuna was saying that, no, I can't fight. So now Krishna is saying, if you don't fight, you are the leader. Then all those who follow you, they also do the same thing. Yat yat acharati shreshtas tat tat evetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurude lokas tat anuvartate. Whatever action a great man perform, common men follow. And whatever standard he sets by exemplary act, all the world perceives. So whatever the leaders do, the common men tend to do it, no? So that's why when children are brought up, their parents, they try to imitate the parents. So when parents go in the right track, children follow that. Same way, Krishna is saying, Arjuna, you are the leader. If you just withdraw, then all those people who have come to give their life for you, Tekta Jivita, they will also be like shattered and they also won't fight. So don't do it. Just for an example, to give a good example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set an example that how a devotee should be, always chanting the Lord's name, that even small children get attracted. Na buddhi vedam jnanayed ajanam atnyanam karma shanginam yoshayed sarva karmani vidvan yukta samacharan. So as not to disturb the mind of ignorant men attached to the fruitive results of prescribed duty, a learned person should not induce them to stop work. Rather, by working in a spirit of devotion, he should engage them in all sorts of activities for the gradual development of Krishna consciousness. So we should not stop working, not renouncing. We should actually work, but we should use it for Lord's service. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahangara vimudatma kartaham idi manyade. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, think himself the doer of activities that are actually carried out by the 3 modes of material nature. So I'll teach about the 3 modes in the 14th chapter. There's a full chapter, complete chapter on 3 modes, that is Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun. Okay, goodness, passion, ignorance. Now these 3 modes are influencing us and they are making us do some things. So by false ego, we are doing it. Okay. So that we will learn tomorrow. I mean, in the next chapters. Don't get confused now. And then Arjuna says, Adakena prayukta yam papam chariti purusha anichan api varshneya balat iva niyojita. So Krishna, what happens is, oh descendant of Vrishni, that is Krishna, by what is one impelled to do sinful acts unwillingly, as if engaged by force. So sometimes if someone do some bad thing, we'll think, no, he's a good person. How did he do this? So actually, he is not doing it. someone else is making his do. He actually desired, but someone else. Who's that? The three modes acting. So you can see anger, lust, and greed, and everything. That is the three gates to hell actually. Dhumena vriyadeva yada darsho malena cha yadol ve navrito garbhas tata tenedamavritam. As fire is covered by smoke, as mirror is covered by dust, as embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity similarly is covered by different degrees of lust. Now, lust or the karma is there in different grades. How? Like for human beings, it's like this. When you set a fire, there's a lot of smoke. But as you put off the fire, the smoke just goes away and becomes clean and clean. So we need an external force like a guru to come and help us, because the lust is covered like that. Then in an animal body, what happens? It's like so much of dust that their consciousness is not at all elevated. Even in plants' life, it's not at all elevated. So in different degrees, but in human form, we can actually try to come out of it. Not in animal and plant form. Tasmat tvam indriyani adau niyamya bharatarshava papmanam prajahihenam jnana vijnana nashanam. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of Bharatas, in the very beginning, curb this great symbol of sin, lust, by regulating your senses. Slay this destroyer with knowledge and self-realization. So we have different senses: eye, ears, nose, tongue. And which is the most difficult sense to control? Can anyone put in the chat? Which is the most difficult sense? Is it eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin? Which is the most difficult one? Shreyas?
Hare Krishna Mataji, it is mind, Mataji.
Mind is the sixth one, I'm telling. I'm talking about the five senses. In the five senses, which is the most difficult?
Tongue, ma'am. Tongue.
Tongue. See, it doesn't have a bone also, and then it just keeps shaking it and talking so many things, and tasting so many things. So the tongue has to be controlled. How do you control the tongue? Ada Shri Krishna namati napavet krihyam indriyam sevan mukehi jihvado swayam eva svuratyata. You should start your service with the tongue. With the tongue, you can do two things. Either you eat Krishna Prasad, chant the holy name of the Lord. By chanting the name of the Lord, what happens? The purification, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, the purification starts taking place. So there are prescribed dharmas in the 4 yugas. In Satya Yuga, people meditate. Treta Yuga, they do sacrifice. Dwapara Yuga, they do temple worship. But we are in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, we are supposed to chant the holy name of the Lord. And why this mantra? It's called the Maha Mantra. Why? Mantra means man plus tra, that which delivers your mind. While chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, you're actually associating with the Lord. And in Kali Yuga, that's the easiest way. In Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami says to Parikshit Maharaj, Kalir doshini te rajan hastine ko mahaguna kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangam param vrajet. Kali Yuga is full of problems, O king. Full of problems. We know, na? Full of hypocrisy and quarrel and all that. But there's one good quality. And Parikshit Maharaj is like, what is that? One good quality? Kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangam param vrajet. If we chant the holy name of Lord Hari, mukta, you get liberation. But still we don't do it. How unfortunate we are. Durdaiva midrishamiha janina anuraga. We don't have the taste. But then, yes, we do get by listening more and more about Bhagavad Gita and the Lord. Then we try to do it. Indriyani paryani ahur indriyebhya param manaha manasastu para buddhir yo buddhe paratastushaha. The working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the sense. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. And the soul is even higher than the intelligence. I'll tell you by this example, okay? The human body is compared to a chariot. So you've seen a chariot, no? Horse, then the reins, the person driving, then there's an owner. Same way, this body is like a chariot. Now we have our senses, the 5 senses: ear, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and touch. Now these 5 senses are like a horse. Very, very difficult to control. The horse, you've seen, unless you tie it, they just run. And so the senses are like the horse. And the rein, the rope which you hold, that is the mind. So mind is controlling the sense. Now behind the mind is the buddhi or intelligence, who's the charioteer, who's the driver. And the owner is the Atma, the soul. So you understood? So what is more important is the soul, because he's the owner of the human body. And so you have to give more strength to the soul. And how do you give strength to the soul? By chanting the Lord's holy name. Okay, so this is the 5 senses. You can see the 5 horses controlled by the reins, the mind. Then you have the intelligence, the driver, and then the owner is the soul. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. So how do we control that lust? By increasing your spiritual intelligence. So I told the subtle body, mind, intelligence, false ego, the intelligence is taken by the soul to the next body. So whatever degree, material degree you have now, PhDs and all that, that's not taken to the next body, next life. But the spiritual knowledge you have, it's definitely taken to your next life. Never it is wasted. So how we are done with the chapter. So what is the law of karma? If you do punya or pious things, there is good reaction. You go to heaven. You do papa, impious deeds, you get bad reaction. You go to hellish planets. So as you sow, so shall you reap. And all happiness and sadness in our life is due to our past karma. Because of our karma, we don't have to blame anyone. Some people blame God for it. He's just a sakshi or a witness. So do the duty as a sacrifice to Krishna. In Satya Yuga, people meditated. Treta Yuga, fire sacrifice. Dwapara Yuga, temple worship. And Kali Yuga, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So always chant the mantra and be happy. So this is the mantra for described in Kali Yuga. Okay. So the Goloka chart, it says, are you able to see my screen? Mataji, Prabhu?
Not yet started.
Okay.
Yeah, it's come now.
Okay, so this is the Goloka chart based on Bhagavatam. Okay, so are you able to see, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Garbhodakshai ocean. Okay. This is the Garbhodakshai ocean you can see here, and the Garbhodakshai Vishnu there. Okay. Now from his navel, see, please carefully watch this. We'll send the PDF in your WhatsApp group. You can zoom it and see. And this from the navel of him, you can see a stem growing. Okay. Now it goes up, 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 and Lord Brahma is born there. You can see here. And these are the 14 planetary system. We always say the three planetary systems, that is upper planetary system, middle planetary system, and lower planetary system. So there are 14 universe, the planetary system in one universe. This is one universe, this egg shape. You can see the shell. This is one universe, one. So we are here. Can you see here the Burlog? Is it clear now? So this Burlog, the earth, we are here now. Okay. We all are here on the earth. That this is the abode of human beings and other mortals. And above us, we have the Bhuvarlok, Swarlok, Maharlok, Janagalok, Tapolok, and Satyalok. Satyalok is where Lord Brahma is. And this is Dhruvaloka for Dhruva Maharaj. And below us, we have the hellish planets. Attala, Vittala, Suttala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Padala. Okay. So these are the 14 planetary systems you can see here. Now we are here, okay, on this earth. Now, as we go up, you can see here. So this is Karanodakshai Vishnu. From the sweat pores, all the universes come. So this is just one of the universe. Lot of mustards are there in the mustard bag. One mustard, that is our universe. And in that, there are 14 planetary systems. One is Earth. We are there. Now, beyond that is the Devi Lok. You can see Rama Devi, Maya Devi and all. Then comes Lord Shiva there, Mahakaladama, Sadashiva Loka, Shambhu there. And as you go up, you see the Brahmajyoti. Brahmajyoti is the effulgence coming from the Lord. And then Vaikunta. So this is Vaikunta. Can you see here? The Lord is in the four-handed form, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, with the Lakshmi Narayan. Okay. And his expansion is Sankarshna, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva. Okay. This is in Aishwarya form. As you go up, there is Ayodhya. You can see Lord Ram here. And then Dwaraka, Jagannath Puri, Mathura. And above all that is Goloka Vrindavan. So the Golok Vrindavan is like a lotus. You can see here the 8 petals is the 8 Sakis, Lalita, Vishaka. So this Vishaka Saki has come as Arjuna. So Arjuna is not a normal person. Don't underestimate him. He is a eternal associate of the Lord. So all these are the Sakis. Then you have Mancharis, Rupa Manchari, Rati Mancharis and all that. Then, so this is Radha Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. And you can also see one more person there. Who's that? You can see him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he is also there. Okay. So this is a chart. And you can see all the petals have different leelas of the Lord going on. So that's the topmost of the world. So of all the the spiritual world. So this is a Goloka chart. Now someone asked me, how do you believe this? Like when Srila Prabhupada was going in Jaladuta, the ship. Today was the day when Prabhupada got the ticket, free ticket to America. So long back in 65. So when he got when he was in the boat, the ship, it was a big journey, like 1.5 months. And he was asking the captain, where are we? I could see only the water around us, ocean. And then the captain took a chart. Took the, they have this with all these geological chart. He took it out and he calculated the distance where they are and with the land and something like that. And he told that we are so many kilometers from Italy or someplace. And then Prabhupada was like, how do you know? And how you so precise in this, and how do you are so confident that this is what we are? I really don't understand. And then he's like, no, this is how the calculation has been done by the previous acharyas or previous people who have studied it, no? And then Prabhupada is like, oh, so this is how you follow the acharyas or the paramparas, to understand, because we won't be knowing. Same way, this Goloka chart has been prepared. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikaviya. Lord has instructed Brahma about all these, and Vyasdev himself have compiled the Bhagavatam, and from Bhagavatam this has been taken. So you saw the highest is the Goloka Vrindavan, you can see here. Then below that is Madhura, Jagannath Puri, Dwaraka. Then you can see Ayodhya. As you come down, it's Vaikunta here. And then you come down Brahmajyoti, Sadashiva Loka, Devi Loka world. And this is our the planet. And you have the universe. And you can see our earth here. And you can see one mantra which connects the earth. Can you see? A white line which connects. And it just goes directly to Golok Vrindavan. That's the Hare Krishna mantra. Golokera Premadan Harinam Sankirtan. So the Harinam is coming from Golok Vrindavan. So all of you, can you unmute and chant Hare Krishna once? It's Ekadashi.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.